Hi, Charlene back, and I want to expand further on what I mentioned in my last videos about sharing indoor and outdoor space. So the first thing I want to talk about is the form school of Feng Shui, which really leads way to the three-door system, which is very much applied on the space or the interior space of a home. To further go into the three-door system is to understand form, and the form was taken from the form in the landscape. So it's also called landscape Feng Shui. And what it was doing was looking at where the mountains were, where the waterways were, where the prevailing winds and the sun came from. Much of all the same things that are really important to take into consideration in modern day architecture and design. And even though we've come all this way over all these years, I still see a lot of things that I would question in terms of placement of houses or developments in locations that don't seem to make sense to me. So I want to talk about form school. And like I said, form school is the original Feng Shui, which was all about looking at where the energies were pooling, where was the backing. For example, having a mountain at your back, so you didn't have to worry about what was coming at you. How did the winds flow over that mountain? Where did it meet from the winds coming in from another area to make a really beautiful garden space or a really beautiful climate change so that it felt good to actually be in that location. So form school was all about, looking out, seeing a great view, seeing where the winds were coming from, seeing where the waterways came through so that you could actually use those waterways to grow gardens, to grow the kind of flora and fauna you wanted to have near your space of occupation. So many buildings and many villages were placed this way according to this, where Feng Shui started and form school was the mode. Now the other part of form school, which we don't know, is what do we do in the areas where there was no mountains? It was kind of flat plains or places where there was no indicators from the shifts of elevation to give us an idea where the good chi would be. So that's when they started to look at all the waterways and where they formed. Now these were called the dragon's veins because it was what the life force energy that came through and taught us. So form school has two parts, and that is the actual mountainous areas or areas that are very simple, and the form in the landscape or the waterways or the dragon's veins. So I just want to give you an explanation on that before we get into indoor and outdoor Feng Shui. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe.